Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of my mental illness story. My name is Tanner Hines. I am an audio engineer and stand-up comedian based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We are in Control Room A of the studio I work at. We just got this leather couch. You can kind of see it. Kind of stole it, I guess. It was out on the side of the road and for someone to throw away and we just took it. I don't guess that's not stealing, but it's nice. Can do sort of this thing if I want to. I won't, but I could. So last episode I talked about sort of what it was like growing up with a twin sister and some of the troubles I faced starting school. In this episode I wanted to focus on some of the relationships I had outside of my family. I was very close with my siblings and my family, but growing up I really didn't have a lot of friends. I had people that I played with at recess and stuff, but in terms of actual friendship relationships like I saw with other people, I really didn't have that. Then I was like 8 or 9, I think. I played baseball every summer, and this particular summer we had a new kid join our team who I'd recognized in the halls at school but never really met before. Didn't really think much of him at the time. My dad coached us growing up, so I always sort of thought that the team was sort of mine and sort of centered around me for whatever reason. So to have this new kid come in and kind of take away all that attention, I didn't really care for at the time. He had pierced ears, which I've never seen on a guy before, but he seemed to be someone that everyone sort of liked and gravitated towards. So in like the middle of that season, as much as I loved baseball, I was a terrible athlete, just the way it was. And I was having a particularly bad game, and I think I struck out and I came back to the bench pretty defeated, and I sat down, and he sat down next to me and put his arm around me and started talking to me, and he actually invited me over to his house after the game, and that was sort of the first time that anybody's ever really did that. So it was sort of it wasn't long after that, it was sort of became the weekend tradition. We would go to each other's houses to hang out a bunch, and we got really tight really fast. And like I said, I didn't have a lot of friends before that, so this was sort of like a crash course on friendship and what that meant and sort of how to navigate those type of relationships for the first time. Was new and exciting for me to finally have someone to talk with and share ideas and thoughts, and have it be someone that's not going to eventually mistreat me. It was pretty amazing. He was small like me, but he was stocky, so people didn't really mess with him, and he always sort of stood up for me, which was nice. I didn't have a lot of people who did that back then. So that sort of early relationship is where I sort of the basis for one of my strongest held beliefs, which is friendship and how important that is in life. It's sort of what keeps you going, through the ups and downs of life. Is something that I hold very dear and near to my heart, and it's sort of where that started for me, and it's sort of that strong belief that I have today and the relationships that I have with people today. I think one of the hardest things growing up that you learn is not all good things can sort of last. Everything sort of has its expiration date for better or worse, and people grow up and grow apart from each other. And that was one of the toughest things for me to learn is, having to let go of those relationships, not, through my wanting, but just life has a way of sort of separating people, and time will eventually make everyone sort of strangers, and that's what happens to everyone. And it certainly has happened to me, and that was what's happened with that relationship. As time went on and we got older, went through school, we stopped hanging out as much, and eventually kind of lost touch with each other. And that's sort of been a pattern that's repeated several times for me over the years. And you get really close with someone, and not through any way, not that we intended to, but life sort of separates people. Has a way of doing that, and this is something I've had to get used to several times. What's important is your ability and your desire to try to maintain those relationships the best you can. There's people that I've done a good job of maintaining relationships with. There's other people I sort of dropped the ball on, and it sucks and it sort of sticks with you, but you try to do what you can and try to keep pushing forward. So hopefully, we can do a better job of maintaining relationships and knowing that, enjoying them while you have them, because it's not going to be that way forever. So that's sort of been the toughest lesson for me, moving forward, is trying to stay in contact with people. It's very easy these days to do it. Everyone has a cell phone, social media, text message, call people. It's easy, but as easy as it seems to be on paper, actually doing it in person, there's always seems to be something in the way. So it's just how important is that person to you, and it's important to keep that in mind as you go through life. So that's sort of what I always tend to go back to and think about, is the relationships that I've had and have and hope to have in the future, and what can I do to maintain that moving forward. I think that's all I want to talk about today. Keep it a little short, I guess. I think next time we'll probably start talking about high school and everything that goes along with that. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Keep up to date with future releases. Feel free to share the video any way you want, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for listening.